because you don't hear about it anymore. They act indignant over whether it's IRS or any of the other things you mentioned. And it lasts for a couple of days. And then they go back and they get their check and they go and run for office. And in many cases, they run for president. They have no stick to it. They don't really care. Maybe they don't want to upset the apple cart. So I know where the Democrats stand, and I fully understand that. It's okay. What I'm disappointed is our Republican politicians. It's all talk and no action. Always. 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 Now think of the emails. The legendary Rosemary Woods. Anybody here, Rosemary? Wasn't it 18 minutes of a tape? Here's hundreds of hours and days and months of emails. That's our modern day tape. Nothing happens. You get a subpoena, and you say, oh, I have a subpoena from the United States Congress. You delete everything. You get rid of everything. The server's gone. Everything's gone. Now, that's Rosemary Woods. Or, if that's a Republican conservative, they're gonzo. It's over. So what happens is we have two standards. We have a double standard. But we have Republican politicians who don't even talk about this anymore. And I happen to think it's the most serious thing to talk about. So I can only pledge to you the following. I will be bringing it up. And if I win, that will become the central part. I think it's going to be my best question, Matt, because what you said is so important. But the ones I'm really disappointed, we have had so many opportunities to do some real productive work. And the Republican politicians don't have the guts to do it. They don't have the guts. So, well, all politicians, but the Republican politicians, the Democrats, we know where they are. The Republican politicians, frankly, I'm a Republican, they should be ashamed of themselves. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Hey, I'm a little confused on one of the questions. As you know, we met on veterans issues.
Yeah, I remember.
When you say we're going to save the veterans, now I'm speaking for veterans, we don't want to be saved. I need to know, what do
You want to be taken care of.
Right, we want promises that were made. We want veterans health care, PTSD, TBI.
Right.
I want to know, what is your intent? How are you going to do this? Because we've heard it over and over.
Okay.
And I know you're a man who...
Right, and you know it, and you know it. The veterans, and not only here, all over the United States have been treated like third-class citizens. And I meet with them. I was, as we discussed at our meeting, I was very much responsible for the Vietnam Memorial in New York. And by the way, to this day, with all the buildings I built and all the things, rinks in Central Park and all the things I've done, nobody has ever been nicer to me than Vietnam vets. To this day, if I'm walking down the street, vets come up and they say, thank you for what I did. I held one of the most successful parades in the history of New York after it was a disaster the year before. We discussed that. The Veterans Day Parade in New York City down Fifth Avenue. One of the largest parades. So I fully understand, and I fully understand what you're saying. And the fact is, our vets have to be helped. And the word help, they don't want, they want to be helped. They did an incredible job for us. Many of these people are in very bad shape. So we're going to get involved, including with your group, as we had, did we have a great meeting? I thought it was a great meeting. But we're going to get involved with your group. We're going to do a lot of things. And not only in New Hampshire, it's got to be all over the United States. And frankly, in New Hampshire, it's not a good situation, but you have some states where it's catastrophic for the vets. We will really help the vets, and we'll rebuild our military, by the way.
You to come into the state that first wants to meet with the veteran community, and I was impressed with that.
Well, I appreciate it. Now you even made a donation, right? Bigger donation than anybody ever thought. They hit pay dirt. Did they hit pay dirt? That's good. And you know what it is? It's worth it because they're unbelievable people. I wouldn't be standing here right now except for the vets. So anyway, so it's great. We'll work on it, right? Give it to this man. Looks like another vet. Are you another vet?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Give me a question.
Air Force, Vietnam.
Very good. You know about the Vietnam Memorial in New York? Down by Wall Street.
Yes, I know where it's
Okay,
at.
good.
I grew up in North
Good
Jersey.
location. That's good. You know about it.
Yes, sir.
I'm proud.
My question is your commitment to the Second Amendment.
Totally. The Second Amendment has to be just cherished. And I listen to that. You know, I have friends, they're smart guys, they're not into it, they're not into the Second Amendment. So the other day, I'm watching television. And because of our great prison system up in New York, you know, upstate New York,
Yeah.
you have these two guys who are serious, these are seriously dangerous people. They're seriously, no worse than who?
No worse than the 5 you let go in.
Well, the five. Yeah, the five. The five were pretty bad. Okay. She's got a lot to say, but she's good. But you have these two guys that ingeniously got out of this prison, maximum security prison. And it's like an unbelievable thing. And they're interviewing people in the town. And a woman gets up and she said, you know, I have had for years debates with my husband. I didn't want guns and he did. And now I'm so glad we have them. We have one in every drawer, every table. They're all, because they don't want to be visited, you understand it. They don't want to be visited by these two characters that just got out. And it was very interesting because she said she fought her husband for years. And now they're so glad. I will protect and preserve the Second. I will protect and preserve without cuts Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. And the money will come from making smart deals instead of stupid deals with other countries. And believe me, our country has a chance to be so rich again, and so strong again, and so great again. But it's not going to be with the kind of thinking that we have in office right now. Okay, yes ma'am, right here. Yeah.
You talk about making America great again,
Right.
and I was just wondering what you think can be done to unite the American people and keep the American dream alive.
Well, the American dream is heading south fast, you know that. Through regulation, through all of the problems, through tremendous unemployment, through hatred. You know, when Obama got elected, I said one thing. I said, the minimum that's going to happen is he's going to be a great cheerleader for the country. I really thought it would unite the country. And I really felt that he could be a great spirit for the country, great branding for the country. You know, my daughter, Ivanka, anybody hear of Ivanka?
Yeah.
She did such a great job of introducing me. And that was not easy. That was a lot of cameras, live cameras all over the place. The place was packed. Ivanka did a fantastic job.
Come back, bring her along. We want to see
I
her.
should have brought it. So she told me a story that when she was a young girl in Czechoslovakia, because her grandparents are from Czechoslovakia, communist country at the time, and she would go there, and people, many of the Czech people had dollar bills posted on the windshield of their car, because that was a sign of prestige. They were so proud of that dollar bill. They were so proud of the brand, the American brand, that they would take dollar bills onto the windshield, onto the glass. And I said, yeah, I've never heard that story. And she said, yeah, it's about branding. They loved the brand. They loved the United States brand. They loved our brand. That doesn't happen anymore. And I really thought that President Obama, at a minimum, would be, and by the way, different party, different everything, I would love him to be a great president. It's not going to happen. But I would love, if he were a great president, I'd stand before you and say, you know what, we have a great president. And most of the people in this room, other than the stupid people, would say that's great for the country. I don't care about party. I would love for him to be a great president. If he were a great president, I would say he was a great president. But we can't say that. But I thought it was so poignant, so amazing when Ivanka Trump came. And now you go and there's nothing. In fact, now we're laughed at, we're mocked, we're scorned, we're not respected. That's one of the reasons ISIS, you guys, the military guys, they have no respect for us. Do you ever see a thing where we have a war and we tell them everything we're going to do? We're going in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that, we're this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying, can you imagine General MacArthur and General George Patton? They're spinning in their graves. We catched a mid-level, upper mid-level accounting guy from ISIS a couple of weeks ago. Instead of capturing him and killing him and keeping it quiet, what do? News conferences. Well, now all the other thousands of them are all scattered in New York. Okay? Why the hell can't we shut up? Shut up.
That's because we have a narcissist in
So-
the White House.
We have so far to go. It's so sad. I mean, it's just so sad. Yes, ma'am. Back there. Yes.
I don't need a mic. Welcome back to New Hampshire, Mr. Trump.
Thank you.
I've actually done your makeup before. I'm a makeup artist politically.
Good. Oh, good.
So
When did you do my makeup? When?
We'll connect, but I'm talking tonight
Wait,
to you.
before you stop.
Yeah.
Is it my real hair?
It's looking great though.
No, it is my hair. That's right. I did a big show up here and she put a little makeup on. I said,
Yeah.
it's my hair. It is my hair. That's good.
I made you up at the convention in New York City too. But
Good.
anyways, we go back.
Thank you.
But I'm here to talk to you about something that I've been already talking to other campaigns about. Okay, I've talked to Hillary Clinton's advisory board. I've been traveling around a little bit with Governor Christie. A year ago, my stepdaughter died of a heroin overdose.
Right, big problem.
There were so many gateway drugs that got her to the death, okay?
I understand.
And there was very limited opportunity for help, especially here in New Hampshire. And this is a really hot topic. We already have 1,300 deaths already in the state.
It's
And
a huge
epidemic.
problem in New Hampshire, which nobody really even knows about.
Yeah, I want to encourage you to speak about it because it is ravaging our communities, our families, but it also takes a huge economic hit. And what I'd like to just put out there is something, I've been doing a lot of advocating for this issue. I'd like to see us get treatment mandatory in prisons. So that if somebody's arrested on a drug charge, they're in there, they're not wasting time. Maybe we can instill a shift in consciousness in these addicts. So when they come out, you know, we're not dealing with them going right back to the same playground and playmates because the crime is on the increase because of this
Right.
problem too.
You
And
would
I just
not
want to
think-
know what you think about it. And
You're
I
right.
thank
I
you for
think
being here.
a lot about it. And I'll tell you what, you're right. It's interesting. I've been in New Hampshire for a long time. I've had a lot of friends here, and I come here a lot. And they talk about the drug problem. You know, you don't think in terms of New Hampshire and drugs and a drug problem, but New Hampshire has a tremendous problem with it. No, it's something we'll start thinking about very heavily. Okay? Thank you very much, man. Yes, how about, go ahead. Go ahead.
It is an honor for me to be here,
It's my honor.
Mr. Trump.
Thank you.
I am a Colombian immigrant. I absolutely love America, and I am a
You
physician.
know, that's the home of Miss Universe, Columbia. You know that.
Yeah, very much. And
Paulina Bennett.
we love it.
She's been great. Okay, go ahead.
But I'm most concerned about our physicians, which is my career. And we need to worry about apathy, and we need to care about the doctor-patient relationship. And we need to bring that back. We need to bring America to health again. What is your plan?
Well, my plan is very much different from what the plan is now, because to now, you're a doctor, right? And you're signing, every time you see a patient, you're signing your life away, and you're signing papers all over the place, and you're doing, I mean, what you're doing is incredible. And we have to bring it back where you take care of patients and simplify it. We have to simplify it. You know, I told you before, I have doctors where they talk about how many accountants they use and they never had this, but I have many doctors, friends who are young, not old, where they want to retire. You're not going to retire, right? But they want to retire. You understand it. They want to leave. They're going to leave the profession. You retired already, okay. Okay, well then some do that, by the way. Some do it, it's very much simpler, but a lot of people aren't able to do that. So we will simplify things. We'll simplify a tax code because right now it's out of control. We'll simplify that whole situation. But we can't lose the doctors. We don't have enough doctors already, and we can't lose the doctors. So we'll take care of that. There's so many things. So many things can be taken care of easily. Some are tough. But so many, I heard, you know, when we talk about building the wall, the Great Wall, I heard some pundits, well, you can't get Mexico. Of course you can. I said, Trump can't get it. Why can't I do that? I watch these people on television today. Well, when Trump says do the wall, they won't agree. Of course they will. They make a fortune with us. They make a fortune. Between the oil and the cars and the economic development and the fact that you lose all your factories, they move to Mexico. Of course they're going to pay for it. Trust me, they're going to pay for it. They'll pay for it. Just relax. But I watch these total novices on television. You know, they think they're smart and they're dumb as rocks. And they come, Trump won't be able to watch. Watch. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Take it back.
Hey, Donald Trump.
This to me is fun. I love this. Are you having at least fun? Okay, go ahead.
Great to see you, Donald Trump. My name is Brian Henschey. I live here in New Hampshire, at Brian Henschey on Twitter. Just want to ask you a question, which is...
That was interesting. Am I supposed to tweet him now? Would you be shocked if I got home and tweeted you?
How can you, Donald, be against self-promotion? That's what I'd like to know.
Say it again.
How can you possibly be against self-promotion? Come on.
No, you're right. Okay.
So
maybe that's why I like it. Go ahead.
So my question for you is, so obviously when Obama became president, he had a huge, ridiculous spending stimulus, which did nothing, and so we all went
Nobody
into
even knows where the money went.
Yeah,
And
and
it was
so
massive.
my question to you is, how in the world are you going to unleash the American economy and get it to start kicking some ass again?
Okay.
And I should mention, Donald, I was unemployed for 11 and a half months until 2 weeks ago.
Good. You
So
got a good
I
job?
finally
Did you get a
landed
good job?
a solid
Did you get a
professional
good
job.
job?
Finally, yes.
That's
It
good.
took almost
You
a
know,
year. Thank
when
you.
you talk unleashing, what we have to do is bring our jobs back from all these places. We got to bring our jobs back from China. We have to bring our jobs back from Mexico. We have to bring our jobs back from... And it's not just China, it's everything. We don't... You know, sometimes I'll make a speech and I'll start off by saying, we don't win anymore. We don't win anymore. When was the last time we won a trade battle against China? It never happens. When did we ever win against Japan? And I was jokingly saying yesterday, talking to people, they send their cars over by the millions. When did you see in Tokyo a Chevrolet? Did you ever see a Chevrolet in Tokyo? Not too often. Maybe, gotta be a couple, right? But it's a one-sided deal. We don't take care of our people. We have leaders that don't know what they're doing, and they don't have a clue. And if they do know what they're doing, they're controlled by their lobbyists and the others that I mentioned. So it's a real problem. We will bring it back. We'll get it back, and we'll get people working again. What we need, and by the way, the best social program is a job. You got to get people working. Let's take a couple more. We'll take a couple more. This very young person right up here. Come on, make it a quick question with a red shirt. How are you?
Hello. Well, for me, one of the things, one of the great defining, I guess, moments is that makes America great, were the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo missions of the 50s and 60s. Hopefully going into the presidency, what do you plan on doing for the space race in the future, particularly concerning private companies like SpaceX and Virgin Galactic?
Yeah, well, I love the space thing. I think, a lot of the private companies are doing very well with space. We have a lot of other problems, by the way.
Yes.
In all fairness to space.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of people going into space, and they're doing it through private companies. And I know a lot of the people in those private companies, and they're doing it very well and very efficiently. But we have to do things like, health insurance and so many things. So many things. So I am for it, I am for helping, but I like keeping that somewhat in the private sector. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir, go ahead.
The longer the primary season goes on, the higher the disenfranchised voters get to not participating in the process.
Right.
What is your thought on how to make this more efficient as the process does not lose those voters?
You talk about the primary season, making more. So, you know what I say? I don't know. I've never done this before. Look, I've always heard, and I've heard this from many years, and you probably have heard, that a very, very successful person can never run for political office. It might be true. It might be true. Somebody said to me the other day, Mr. Trump, you have a terrible personality. You'll never be able to get votes. Actually, people like me. I'm actually a nice person. Thank you, man. I love you too. But you know what? I have great friends. But the people that know me like me, other than a couple of I don't like too much. They're bad. Some of the Wall Street guys that are ripping us off, I don't like too much. But you know what? I've always heard that a really successful person cannot run for office, political office, especially for the office of president. And we're going to find out. I don't know. We're going to find out. I'm going to tell you, I really am very smart, and I'm very competent, and I'm really good at business, and I can make this country so rich and so great again. But maybe people don't like my smile. Maybe they don't like my hair, which is real, by the way. But it really, it really is something that we can do. And, maybe I can't get elected. Maybe they say he's not a nice enough guy. But I said yesterday to a big group of people, I don't think this election is about personality. We've had enough personality. We've had personalities for so long now. It's about competence. I really do. And I have to be very... People are sick and tired of being ripped off by everybody. And I really think that this is going to be an election about competence. Okay, let's take 2 more questions, okay? Yes, go ahead, right there.
Mr. Trump.
Young people. The future. The highly taxed future, if you keep it going. Oh boy, do I worry about your taxes, and then you're going to pay a lot of money. We're already, the #1 tax nation in the world, so go ahead.
You say the Affordable Care Act is probably one of the worst things President Obama has ever done. You're probably not wrong, but I just want to know, you say you're going to find something better. I just want to know what that is.
Better than what?
The Affordable Care Act.
Oh, there's a lot of plans that are better. And there are plans that you have to get through Congress. There are plans that you have to get through Congress, and you're going to have to get them through. And if you don't get them through, we're going to have a problem. Because Obamacare is going up, up, up. You're not getting your doctors, you're not getting your plan. I know a lot of people that had plans that they loved and they've lost them.
Yeah.
How many people here had plans that they loved and now all of a sudden they get wiped out? Because I've known so many people that had that. You are going to have a situation where the costs of so-called Obamacare is just ridiculous. And here's the problem. The government deficit, whether it's $1.6 trillion or whatever it might be, the deficit is so massive that the country is not going to be able to afford it. So there are a lot of plans. One of the things that's interesting, so I live in New York. In the old days, I used to say, why do I only have one company that I can negotiate with? They had the lines, the artificial boundaries. If you're in New Jersey, if you have a really great company up in New Hampshire, I can't do it because they're not allowed to come into New York. And that was done for the benefit of the insurance companies. And by the way, Obamacare is good for the insurance companies too. They were very big contributors to Obamacare. The insurance companies are doing very well with Obamacare. So there are a lot of things. But here's the beauty. The lobbyists aren't coming to me if I'm president and saying, you can't do that to the insurance companies. They've helped you. They've given you millions of dollars. Because I don't need their money. I don't want their money.
Yeah?
Right. They're in trouble. I don't need their money. But I've often said, isn't this ridiculous? I could have companies in California, in Oregon, in New Hampshire, in Iowa, all over. Giving me bids. I get one bid. You know what I said? I'll take it. You get one